Namaste. Welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga on this day after the full moon. My name is Michelle Chua, and for this heart opening practice in which we'll physically bring the shoulders into extension quite a bit, you'll want to have two blocks and a strap. Let's begin in hero's pose if that works for you, where you set your knees in front of you and either sit on your calves or a block between your ankles. Make sure that you're supporting the alignment in your knees by neither turning out or turning in your feet. So I want to share the theme for this last full moon, which was yesterday, yet we can still have a full moon ritual a day before and a day after. You can still feel the potency for those of us who are very energetically sensitive, the potency of the full moon. So I want to share a couple of readings, one from Carrie, an astrologer in Magic of I. And she says that the theme for this full moon in Cancer is structure, career, and goals. An illumination or an affirmation you might call to mind is, I am safe to explore my emotional body and heal any blocks. In turn, this heals my past and my future. So we wrap up the year's end with this full moon in Cancer, a focus on nurturing, nourishment, and what feels like home. Scan your inner landscape in reflection of the year that has just unfolded, feeling into its curves and bumps. Celebrate your wins, nourish the other parts with gentle acknowledgement of their gifts in all shapes and forms. This time of year can be busy, but create space for quiet moments for yourself to drop in, ground, connect, and feel where you are at. Another astrologer named Colin Bedell writes this: the annual full moon in Cancer is our opportunity to examine our relationship to emotions within the context of home, family, and belonging, because our lives depend on it. Firstly, this sign offers us a brave space to check for the wide gaps between what we're feeling and what we're saying or doing. Cancer also invites us to notice an inner malfunction or magic between what we're feeling or what we need and what we're demonstrating or requesting. The malfunction is the gap in misalignment. The magic is the space between what we're feeling and what we're showing, and it's imperative for our well-being. Let's find safety in exploring our emotional bodies and healing any blocks between our feelings and behavior. This transforms our future and our past in radical ways. This is the primary precondition for what Cancer next offers us: belonging. You see, we cannot accurately belong to others more than we belong to ourselves. The belonging to the self is, quote unquote, home. The naming and normalizing of these emotions so that we can define and declare them to the people we call family. It's this twofold approach of belonging to self and belonging with others, because we're not pretending, performing, people-pleasing, and perfecting. We're leveraging our emotions as a bridge for greater connection and closeness. That goes quite well with the physical practice and energetic practice of heart opening, our theme for today. So let's start to check in with our physical bodies. You might close the eyes as you mentally scan throughout your body and notice any sensations, withholding, labeling them as either good or bad. Notice if you can feel the sensations of your breath without controlling your breath. And if so, What do you notice about its qualities? In turn, sensing the quality of your energy right now. And feel into your mind and heart what's present in you mentally and emotionally. And as you press your body into the surface below it and rise a little taller through the spine, let in a deeper breath. Exhale out to your mouth. Inhale a little slower. Exhale everything out. And continue to deepen your breath. I invite you to call to mind in these past few weeks of the last lunar cycle, or maybe in these past months of 2023, what do you consider your blessings? What have you enjoyed in support of your well-being? What are your wins and achievements? And by achievements, not only pointing to material things, but personal growth, insights, ways that you have evolved, maybe through past patterns. And in full moon reflection, what are you ready to release? What are you ready to bring closure to in any aspect of your life? Are there any old patterns that no longer support well-being? Clarify your intention for this full moon practice. And let's extend loving kindness to anyone that you might choose to dedicate this practice to today. Call to mind anybody. Together, let's send that out using our voice, chanting Om 3 times. Inhale a little deeper. Om. Om. Let's start to practice Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breath, a way to balance our energy and calm and focus our minds and bodies by closing the lips, softly narrowing the back of your throat, and engaging your attention in a gentle whispering sound that you create as you lengthen your inhales as slowly as your exhales. Tuning into that sound as a way to steady your mind so your movements can be a form of meditation. Cultivating a slow, steady rhythm in the breath, please start to make your way onto your hands and knees, and we'll start to warm up the spine and the shoulders. So stepping your knees a couple of inches behind your hips, stack your shoulders on top of your wrists, pointing your index fingers forward, spreading the thumbs wide. As you breathe in, draw your heart forward, rolling the shoulders back and down, look up entering cow pose. As you breathe out, lift your navel towards your spine, dropping your head slowly as you round the back, entering cat pose. Inhale again, slowly coil your chest up. Exhale, contract your abdomen and dome your back. Take it maybe another 3 cycles of cat-cow pose or Bitalasana. And before we practice bringing the shoulders into extension, let's warm them up a little bit more. On your next exhale, relax to a neutral spine. Straighten your legs and tuck your toes. Bring the feet together to touch in plank pose. Press back to your inner heels so firmly that you activate the front muscles of your thighs. Press the ground away with the hands and draw your shoulder blades down the back, lengthening your neck as you lift the sides of your belly. How's the breath? Now on your next inhale, glide forward as far as you can. If you need more support, place your knees on the ground. As you exhale, graze your elbows by your ribs, only lowering halfway down, bending your elbows at 90 degrees. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Step the feet hips distance apart. Inhale, come forward again to your version of plank pose, whether legs straight or knees on the floor. Keep gazing ahead. Exhale, shift forward, engage the belly, lower halfway down to Chaturanga, touching the elbows to your side ribs. Inhale, firm the belly and press up, plank pose. Exhale, draw the hips back, downward facing dog. Once more, moving to the breath. Inhale, forward to plank, shoulders right above the wrists. Exhale, glide forward and lower halfway down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, firm the belly, press up, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Hips distance apart, parallel to each other. Now bend your knees generously and reach your arms behind your back, bringing both shoulders into extension. Clasp your hands. As you inhale, shift forward and lengthen your crown towards your front wall. As you exhale, keep the hands together and bow further. Drop your skull, maybe shake and nod your head a few times as you're bending the elbows slightly. Lift the shoulders away from your neck while stretching your arms forward, away from your lower back. Let's tune into another 4 breaths in this version of Uttanasana, or standing forward fold. Release the arms, press through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising all the way up, rolling the shoulders behind you as you lift your heart and gaze. Exhale, join your hands at your crown, then in front of your heart center in Padasana. Reconnect with your intention, what you're cultivating through this practice today. Bringing gratitude to both the sun and the moon, the full moon. Let's practice sun salutation. C, Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders back and look up. Exhale, bow forward from the hips. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge and gaze up. Holding your breath, step back into plank pose. As you exhale, first, lower your knees, then lower your chest. Hugging the elbows to your ribs, lower your chin. Inhale, slide forward and draw the shoulders back into cobra pose. Exhale, lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, gazing up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Rooting down, inhale, rise, gently coiling your chest up. Exhale, join your palms together at your heart center. Side 2, inhale, sweep your arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold from the hips into Uttanasana. Place your fingertips down. Inhale, step the right knee behind you in Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Holding your breath, step into plank. As you exhale, Ashtangasana, lower knees, then chest, then chin. Inhale, slide to Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands together in Padasana. Moving on to Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Press your fingertips on blocks or the floor ahead of your feet. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward to half forward fold. Step back to your version of plank, and this time as you engage your abdomen, exhale, shift forward, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Now choose Cobra or upward facing dog as you breathe in, drawing your shoulder heads back. Exhale, lift your hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your body be still as you steady your gaze, listening to 3 slow cycles of breath. When you've emptied the 3rd breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat into Uttanasana, forward fold. Press with your hands and lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana as you inhale. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands in mountain pose. Once again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank. Some of you might float lightly into Chaturanga. Continue through your Vinyasa at your pace. At downward dog, pause, rebalance your breath, and steady your gaze. 3 cycles of breath. Now let's warm up the hips a little more. Step your feet together in downward dog. Inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend your right knee and rotate your thigh externally at the hip. As you inhale, tack your left outer hip back. Exhale, bend the right knee towards your nose, contracting your abdomen, and lightly step the foot right between the hands. Spin the left heel down, warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms, aligning your right heel to the arch of your left foot. With arms wide open, steady your gaze. Just past your right hand or eyes closed for 4 more breaths. Let's bring the left shoulder into extension by wrapping the left arm behind you, whether landing it on your lower back or holding the top of your right thigh. Keep the right knee bent and facing forward, flip the right palm to face up. Lift your spine, then side bend towards your rear wall in peaceful warrior. Imagine breathing deeper into your right lung here. On your next inhale, rise up and shift forward to half moon, walking the right fingertips on a block or the floor, upper right corner of your right pinky toe, and flexing the left foot off the ground. You might choose to raise the left arm or move into Chapasana, which continues to bring the left shoulder into extension. For Chapasana, bend the left knee towards your chest, and with your left hand, catch hold of the top of your left foot. Kicking your foot towards your rear wall as you pull the foot towards your glute. Point your left knee towards the back wall, not the ceiling. While you roll the left shoulder open, engage your belly. Now let your eyes steady softly on one spot as you tune into 4 more breaths in your version of half moon pose. a tribute to our full moon. Begin with the left leg straight, and on an exhalation, step lightly into warrior two. When you arrive, breathe in, exhale your hands to the floor. Let's go right into downward facing dog with the feet together touching. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards the sky, turning the thigh open. Inhale, tack your right hip back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and round the back in plank pose. Softly step your foot between your hands, spin the right heel down. Align heel to arch and cartwheel the arms apart, arriving in warrior two. Right away, steady your gaze and tune into 4 deep breaths. Virabhadrasana 2. Let's wrap the right arm behind you, bringing right shoulder into extension. Flip the left palm up. Lift the spine and side bend towards your rear wall. Focusing the breath along your left side body. Peaceful warrior. Rising as you inhale, shift forward to half moon pose. Walk the left hand upper left corner of your right foot on a block of the floor and flex the right foot off the ground. Invite you to practice the same version of the pose you did on the first side. If you came into Chapasana, catch the top of the right foot. Kick it away as you pull it towards your glute and draw the right shoulder back, still engaging your belly. Notice where your attention is drawn to in this moment. Tune into the sound of your breathing. When you're ready, straighten the right leg, and with an exhale, step into warrior two. Pausing there as you breathe in. This time as you breathe out, step up to the front of your mat and let your feet touch. Let's begin Surya Namaskar B. Feet together, hands together, mountain pose. Reconnect with your intention. Inhale, bend your knees together in chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, shift forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back, insert your Vinyasa. From downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale your foot beside your right thumb, spin your left heel down. Inhale, rise up to warrior one. Ride your exhalation down into your Vinyasa. From downward facing dog, inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale the foot beside your left thumb, spin your right heel down. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. At Adho Mukha Svanasana, pause and recalibrate. Rebalance the breath for 3 or more cycles. When you're ready, empty the breath, then walk or float to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Exhale, rise up, Padasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Insert your Vinyasa here. At downward facing dog this time, inhale, raise your right leg and keep your hips leveled. Exhale, keep your shoulders leveled and cross your right knee to tap your left elbow in plank pose.
Step the foot beside your right thumb and lower your back knee. Energetically drag your legs towards each other without visibly moving them to stabilize your balance as you rise into Anjaneyasana. Now, with your legs hips width apart, keep your hips equally facing forward, lift your frontal hip bones, direct your tailbone down. Then backstroke your arms and place your hands on your lower back as you would in camel pose, fingertips face down. Lifting your back ribs, actively lengthen your lower back. Then draw your shoulder bones behind you, pressing them down right under your shoulder blades. Bend your back to tilt your chest and gaze up. Hugging the elbows closer together to broaden your collarbones. Tune into 3 more deep breaths. Inhale, lift the spine. Shorten your stance so that your left hip is right on top of your left knee and your right knee is right on top of your right heel. Let's prepare for a twist. Cup the top of your right thigh with your right hand. Raise your left arm and inhale as you lengthen the spine forward. Keep your legs still and exhale, twist to your right. If it's available, you could hook the left elbow outside the right thigh, join the hands in prayer, open the arms or bind. Otherwise, you can plant the left hand inside of your right leg on a block or the floor. You might also choose to lift the back knee so that you're in a high lunge in this version of Parita Parsvakonasana, twisting side angle pose. Let's tune into about 4 more deep breaths here. Start to rise all the way up to stand. Shorten your stance about a third. Straighten your legs. Plant both heels down. Keep your hips squared forward. And let's prepare for pyramid pose. Open the fronts of the shoulders by bringing the arms behind your back. Either press fist to fist like this. Hold opposite forearms or elbows. Or palm to palm in reverse prayer, where you point the fingertips up between the shoulder blades. Firming in the belly, lift your heart as you breathe in. Exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips. Rooting down through your legs. Lengthen your spine further forward as you breathe in. Keep squaring your hips, hinging forward as you breathe out. Just find your own range of motion where you're bowing without rounding the back or closing off your throat. Parsvakonasana, pyramid pose. Set your hands down and let's go back to downward facing dog. Keeping your hips both leveled, inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Keeping your shoulders leveled, exhale, cross the knee to tap your right elbow in plank pose. Step the foot beside your left thumb, lower your right knee, and energetically scissor legs while rising up. Backstroke your arms, place your hands on your lower back. Draw the tailbone down as you square both hips forward, lifting your frontal hip bones. Lift your back ribs too, and draw your shoulder heads back. As you press them down, find the area right under your shoulder blades to bend your back, tilting your heart and gaze up. Hug your elbows close together. Another 3 breaths here in Anjaneyasana. Lift your spine vertically and shorten your stance for a twist. Stack your right hip above your right knee. Stack your left knee above your left heel. Cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand and raise your right arm. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, twist to the left. See if you can enter the same version of the twist as you did on your first side. Maybe you lift the back knee. Then with each in-breath, continue to lengthen your spine forward and feel the stability of your legs. With each out-breath, keep squaring your hips still and continue rotating your rib cage while softening both shoulders down your back. Start to unwind and rise up. Shorten your stance about a third. Spin the back heel down with legs straight. Keep squaring your hips forward, and let's bring the arms behind you to open the chest. Fist to fist. Hold the other forearm or elbow on top, or reverse prayer. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Firming in the belly, exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips, breath by breath, in pyramid pose or Parsvottanasana. Press to your feet, inhale, slowly rise. And this time, step forward and let's step into mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips here. Now, you may want to have a strap, and if so, just wear it like a scarf for now. And you may want to set up a couple of blocks about a foot in front of your feet. And if so, set them up on the tallest height so you have more options. Now, feel with your hands on your hips, your two hips equally facing forward. Try to keep them that way as we practice standing bow. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Activate the lower belly by drawing it in and lifting it up. Steady your gaze and steady your breath. Now bend your right knee to hug your left knee and direct your tailbone downward towards your inner left knee. Backstroke your right arm and see if you can catch hold of the inner side of your right ankle or foot. If not, that's where you could lasso the top of the foot with your strap or step the ball of your foot into the loop. Right palm facing your right wall and up. Kick your foot into your hand or strap as you pull the foot towards you, keeping your hips squaring forward. Use those counter actions to balance you while lifting your chest and lifting your left arm. This is a back bend. Standing bow or dancer pose, Natarajasana. Last 3 breaths here. Keep lifting your right leg as you lower your hands on your blocks or the floor, squaring your hips in standing splits. Whatever height you lift the right leg, just make sure your hips stay even. Inhale, lift your chest forward, raising the right leg from the inseam, bow in. Option to walk your hands closer to your standing foot, maybe wrap an arm or two around the calf, or to kick up towards handstand if you want to play with that. Let's meet in standing forward fold. Allow a few breaths in any easeful version of standing forward fold. Just observe your body and mind, how it's doing at this point of your practice. If you think you'll need a strap for the second side, take it with you. Set up the blocks if you might use them for standing split. And then inhale to slowly rise. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Steady your gaze, steady your breath. Bend your left knee to hug your right knee and direct your tailbone down. Backstroke your left arm and see if you can catch the inner side of your left ankle or foot. Kick the foot away as you pull it towards you, raising your right arm, coil your chest up. Keep drawing your left hip forward, tacking your right hip back. A few breaths in dancer pose. Standing split, start to lower your hands. Keep lifting your left leg from the inseam. Inhale, lift your chest forward, tack the right hip back, and exhale to fold. Maybe holding your right ankle or calf, maybe floating up towards handstand. And eventually find a version of malasana or squat to arrive in, where you step the feet wider than hips distance, turn out both thighs at the hip, and allow your pelvis to sink. Maybe join the hands at your heart. You could also sit on a couple of blocks stacked or place your heels on a folded blanket. Just tune into a few deep breaths. Notice what you're feeling at this point. Please make your way onto your back so we can practice our last two back bends in bridge pose. Set your feet hips width apart, parallel to each other, and the arms close to your sides. Ground your feet and shoulders. Breathe in, lift your hips. Walk your upper arms closer together under your back ribs, keeping your arms straight. If your hands meet, you might interlace the fingers. Count 5 to 7 breaths here before you lower your spine slowly on an exhalation. Make sure to keep your throat open by tilting your chin slightly back. Thighs stay parallel to help support your lower back. When you lower, rest for 2 or 3 breaths, and then take your last bridge pose on your own, 5 to 7 breaths. When you lift your hips and bridge, or Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, keep your feet still, but energetically drag your heels back towards your glutes while you actively stretch the fronts of your thighs forward. Breathing expansively through your chest. When you've lowered your pelvis, wrap your right leg over your left leg. Slide your pelvis towards the right edge of your mat a few inches. Open your right arm out to the right, ground that shoulder, gaze past it. Then lift your feet and begin to drop your knees gently to your left side. You might catch your legs with your blocks, if that helps you to keep the right shoulder from rising off the ground. And if you're needing a deeper release for your lower back, place your left hand on your right outer hip, and as you exhale, gently press away your right outer hip so it gently tilts towards the front edge of your mat. And start to unravel back to center here, unwind the legs. Wrap the left leg over the right, then slide your pelvis closer to the left edge of your mat. Open your left arm wide, ground the shoulder and gaze past it, and lift your feet and slowly drop your knees to your right side, maybe landing on blocks or the floor. You might add placing the right hand on your left outer hip, and as you breathe out, pressing the left outer hip towards the front edge of your mat. I invite you to start slowing down your exhalations a little longer than your inhalations to promote deeper relaxation. As you come back to center, splay your bent knees apart into happy baby, or straddle your legs straight apart, maybe clasping your big toes. If so, ground your tailbone, head, and shoulders to help lengthen your spine. Let's take a couple releasing, cooling lion's breaths. Inhale fully through the nose. Stick out your tongue, open your mouth wide, and release any sound with the breath. Ha. Once more. Ha. Then draw your bent knees together and rock forward to sit, straightening both legs in front of you for seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Flex both feet. You might opt to place a strap around the balls of your feet or to raise your arms. Relax the shoulders, lift the heart, and firm the belly in, sitting taller as you inhale, hinging forward as you exhale, little by little. If your hands are overhead, hold on to something like your big toes or the backs of your legs. Press down to your pelvis. Inhale, lead with your chest to slowly rise. Please find a comfortable way to sit for one more breathing technique called Samavriti Pranayama, box breathing, a way to ground yourself and embody presence and relax your nervous system, bring clarity of mind. You might rest a hand at your heart, a hand in your lower belly, and feel the breath move in your body. Closing the lips, we'll inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold the breath a count of 4. When holding the breath, try to relax. Let's practice 3 cycles together and 3 cycles on your own. Prepare to begin by emptying this breath. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. Taking your time when you finish, let go of controlling your breath and observe how you feel. And then begin to lower your body into Shavasana. Lie down, let your feet splay apart. Maybe turn your palms to face up by your sides. Relax your whole body, closing your eyes, breathing naturally, and staying aware in the present moment.
Notice how your body feels now. Be gentle with it as you start to move your body, slowly waking it up. Little by little, easing into stretches. You might even keep your eyes closed so that you're focusing inward. And as you're ready, turn over onto your right side, resting there for a few moments. Notice the quality of your breath. Sense the way you feel energetically now. Then begin to rise into a comfortable seat for 5 minutes, sitting in meditation. As we sit in silence, you might begin by resting your awareness on the breath as a way to anchor yourself in the present moment. Notice the way you're feeling now mentally and emotionally, sensing the effects of your yoga practice. And what do you appreciate in this new moment? Offering gratitude. And call back your intention. What are you releasing? What are you creating space for on this full moon? Remember to whom you offered your practice as well-being support. Might see them in some way receiving benefit. Let's close our practice. Chanting Om 3 times through resonance, sending the vibration of well-being to those around us. All beings, may they be happy and free. And may our thoughts, actions, words contribute to happiness and freedom. Inhale. Bowing in. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.